Never seem to get to meet you without your family.
I understand you know a man called Jimmy McCavan.
May I take a cigarette?
Please.
Who on earth is Jimmy McCavan?
Over the last 12 months, you've been making approaches to various men across the country who you think might be able to help you in your cause. McCavan is one of these men. He runs the East Glasgow shipyards. He killed an associate of mine. I want to know what your strategy is.
That one's your brother, yes?
Yes. And I'm his business advisor. We would like to talk business.
Michael. Michael Gray. You lost all your cousin's money in America playing the fool. A nightclub in Detroit called the Gladiator is your regular. You lost the money and found a wife there. And poor old Arthur Shelby, standing there at the window, is afraid his wife will never return. My spies tell me she's been seen with another man.
Arthur. Eski's shot herself well.
And bingo. 20 seconds in, and I have them speaking their wog lingo. Mr. Shelby, I do have plans. I will have need of men like you. Except, of course, there is no other man like you. You, in particular, I need. But please, don't imagine I would trouble myself with turf wars. You have many enemies. Shuffle the pack and pick another card. That investigation of the dead journalist, the queer, that made that go away. Read it and come back to me. Next time, bring only an open mind and a cigar to celebrate our union. You were indisposed when I arrived. In society, you greet a guest. You don't leave them hanging, looking around like a fucking dog.
Before we join the others, I have some business. I need a signature.
By the way, your brandy before dinner thing amuses me, but none of the maids are of interest. And I despise the use of drugs. Your strategies are very transparent.
I'm involved in a transaction with Jimmy McCavan, your acquaintance from the north.
I have no idea who you mean.
I don't trust him. He wants to pay by check. I need your signature as a guarantor in the transaction. Should his check fail to be honored, the sum is £10,000.
And what is it he is buying from you?
Gin distillery. He's buying the old one, I'm buying a new one.
So, not only is the truce holding, but you two are actually doing business.
Yeah. Still don't trust his checks.
If I sign a check guarantee for this man, it is proof of a connection between me and him. Something you could later use against me.
Why would I want to move against you?
You're curious about my weaknesses. And you've learned it's not cocaine, not maids. But now you will learn my weakness is a tendency to trust people. Do you have a pen? Mr. Shelby, I know you had no classical education, but just realized you're the perfect balance between the gods Dionysus and Apollo. Irrational frenzy, controlled by reason and self-reflection. Do you know the work of Friedrich Nietzsche?
No.
Freud?
Yes.
There. Your guarantee of trust. Now perhaps you could introduce me to your wonderful wife.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend our gratitude to the musicians and the dance company for your wonderful performance. This has been a wonderful evening. And not only for the music and the dancing, it has also been about us, the people gathered here. English people in the very heart of England. There are no people I would rather be among, no place I would rather be, and no time I would rather be alive. Because ever since the terrible events of October, when the money markets betrayed us all, I have known that change is coming. The human species has never faced such immense possibilities, such choices. In the lives of great nations, there are moments of destiny which have swept aside small men of convention and discovered men of the moment. And our host is such a man. For him, the little calculations of little men mean nothing. He is a man well suited to the mighty mood that England is now in. The only reason I say this now, at this moment, on this stage, is because I have some news. Good news, I think. I'm sure our host will forgive me if I use this platform, this gathering of friends and like minds, to give you, his trusted allies, an early announcement of a long overdue event. I want to tell you, good folk first, that with the dawn of a new decade, I will be setting a new course, setting up a new political movement here, in the very heart of England. And Mr. Shelby will be with me, shoulder to shoulder. It will offer a new conception of politics in which the great character of the British, our true character, will be reborn. Many of you lost fortunes in the recent stock market crash. The men of money, the capitalists in New York, the Jews, the money power, they run an international system in which the infinite mobility of money, its capacity to create financial chaos and panic, can bring down any government that dares for one moment to oppose it. For generations, the efforts of hard-working men like you have equipped our competitors against us. The cotton mills of India, the cotton mills of Asia, created with British money, but used for the destruction of Lancashire and Yorkshire. The usurers of New York, the sweated labor of the Orient, combining to destroy the iron and steel factories of Warwickshire and Staffordshire. These are policies that could not be pursued by British statesmen unless they were mad or the servants of Jewish finance. They are the ones who took your money. But it is I and those who know this truth who will light a flame the atheists cannot extinguish. The ranks of our heroes of the Great War have been betrayed again and again by politicians. But hear this. Those of you who fought the Jew war for nothing, you brave men, you will join hands with the angry youth of Birmingham and Manchester and London and Liverpool and declare that England lives tonight and marches on. I say all this to you now because I believe it is in places like this with people like you that we will have to pass on our message directly. Our message can be summarized with these words: Britain first. And because this is our message, I doubt it'll be reported fairly in the press. I'm afraid the newspapers of this country are owned by the same vested interests who took your money. They sell to the people false news to raise the interests of the faction and the section above the interests of the nation.
Good man.
So hear my words and pass them on to those with ears to hear. And be reminded that when the new decade begins, there will be the birth of a new political party which will speak for you. This party, this new movement, this revolution will be called the British Union of Fascists.
Mr. Shelby, I must say, you sing like a songbird in the house. And who is this pretty finch?
My sister.
Who's pregnant?
And dangerous.
Oh, we adore dangerous.
Who's we?
It's a collective noun. In this case, describing a group of people who are impatient and young and, as I've said, adore dangerous. Mr. Shelby, you had a horse of that name.
Whiskey. Irish.
Give him one from my bottle, and one for myself. In fact, bring the bottle. And the lady.
Isn't thirsty. How do you know about the horse?
We have a mutual acquaintance, May Carlton. When I asked about you, she said, "Oh, my goodness, where do I begin?"
And why were you asking after me?
Because, as I've said, I adore dangerous.
And where did she begin?
You know, I was rather hoping we might have this meeting alone.
My sister is my political advisor.
And my advice just now was don't meet Mr. Mosley.
Because I am dangerous.
No. What is it you are impatient for, Mr. Mosley?
I'm impatient for my fucking whiskey. Bennett! May Carlton spoke about you the way I imagine one might about a party they barely remember, where you crash the car into the Dovecote and live on champagne and cocaine for 3 whole days. You know that kind of party.
Only 3 days.
My sister advised against meeting you because it appears you are moving away from the party in a different direction.
And which direction is that?
Towards fascism.
We are the people and we have had enough. I thought that was excellent. Which direction are you heading, Mr. Shelby?
I am my own revolution.
And you prefer Irish to Scotch? As do I. Like all things regarding Ireland, it is complex. Yes? Where do you stand on the Irish question, Mr. Shelby?
Never been asked this.
And perhaps it's time you were.
Tommy, I am the people, and I have had enough.
We are looking for someone to begin a dialogue with certain elements in Belfast with whom we don't officially have any dealings.
I'll be too busy singing in the house.
It would involve a promotion. Junior minister to the Duchy of Lancaster.
Birmingham is my concern. Ireland bores me. Thanks for the whiskey, Mr. Mosley.
So did you learn anything from my speech tonight?
Yes. Yes, I learned many things.
Religion was a beast, but it's dead. You have to ride the new thing when it comes. Like a horse, you grab it. I looked into the audience and I saw medals and Savile Row suits and bitterness. They are my people. Your people will be different. Oh, do see the funny side, Shelby.
I do. I do see the funny side.
Do you enjoy strategies?
Yes, I do.
Things will begin to happen now. So, there are some things we need to discuss. I've been looking into your companies. The Shelby portfolio. Your company lawyer is a Jew. Now, he will have to go.
Of course.
Also, our friend, Jimmy McKevin, has asked for control of the racecourses north of Wincanton. I decided it is a trifling thing considering our new enterprise, so I said yes.
In return for what?
No return. None. When our campaign begins, the country will be divided into distinct areas. McCavan and his men will be our soldiers in the north, controlling rallies and breaking up demonstrations. In the Midlands, it'll be you. The south, well, I've yet to decide. Please understand what I'm offering you as we go forward, Mr. Shelby. When we succeed, even the king will not be above us. Power. Like plugging into the mains. A lighthouse beam. Your millions of dollars safe in Switzerland and access to every dirty-minded swan in England. Oh, and also, Shelby, drink less.